Good evening, everybody. Can everyone hear me okay? I want to thank you for coming tonight to this very, very special evening. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been so stressed out or scared that you wish there was something other than medication that you could use? Well, tonight, all of you will be able to experience energy healing to see if it'll help you. My name is Suzette Martinez Standring, and welcome to Experience Energy Healing. Thank you to the Friends of the Milton Public Library and to Milton Cable Access TV, who will be recording this session, and it will be available on YouTube. Now, friends, I want to share something with you. In 2020, I was diagnosed with lung cancer. I'd never smoked in my life, and it required surgery where they had to remove the upper section of my left lung. And it proved to be a successful surgery. However, earlier this year, they discovered another lung tumor in another part of the same lung, and it turned out that during the summer, I had to go through 6 weeks of radiation and chemo. Again, it worked out really well, but the point is, my doctors were absolutely astounded at how healthy I am, how fast I recovered, how quickly I bounced back. And I attribute it to 3 things. Great medical care from Beth Israel, THC products, which is worth probably another evening session sometime, and energy healings. You know, I've been a Reiki practitioner since 1992, and I know how effective it can be. And I want to give you an example of how energy healing helped me recover. First of all, you have to know that back in 2020, when I was diagnosed with lung cancer and facing surgery, I was absolutely terrorized. I'm a big sissy when it comes to any kind of pain. I had never had surgery ever in my life like that. And the idea of someone cutting into my chest and compounded with cancer, well, it gave me insane insomnia. I was crying, I was scared all the time. Because I am a Reiki healer and I know the effectiveness of energy healing, I called a Reiki healer in California, and over the phone, she gave me a healing. I was immediately relaxed. I have to tell you, it was like I experienced a buzz in my body, and I can't explain it, but all of my fear and my stress was completely lifted from me. In fact, it was almost as if this soothing balm had been spread all over my nerves, and I was able to relax. I was able to go to sleep. In fact, some of you who may have been following my posts on Facebook during the time I was going through my surgery in 2020 would say to me, "You're so brave. You're so positive." In fact, lots of times I wrote funny things about it. But I attribute that to the fact that energy healing helped me to relax my mind. And when you're relaxed, you're in a better place to allow your body to heal naturally. Now, one thing that I think it's important to tell you is I'm not up here to say that energy healing is going to cure your condition. I'm not here to say that we're going to diagnose what you have. But I do feel that you will experience relaxation at the very least. Maybe you might even feel warm sensations. Everybody's different. And I only ask that you stay open and allow yourself to really receive the sensations and the feeling and the experience. So, what are energy healings? What is that? Well, maybe you're familiar with Reiki, or perhaps you're familiar with therapeutic touch, which is a holistic practice that is done in all Boston hospitals. Energy healing has many different forms. For example, Mary Faith Gessling practices pendulum healing. Velma Glover performs reflexology. Awat Tiami does theta healing, and the others, like myself, practice Reiki. So here's the shorthand answer to what is that? Imagine that universal energy comes through the practitioner into the recipient, and it knows exactly where to go. It's not magic, it's not religious, and all of you already practice a form of hands-on healing in your own life. Think about the times you hug someone, or you hold their hand, or you hold them close, or you put your hand on their shoulder. You, through your intent, you are conveying reassurance, love, kindness, comfort, right? And so that's kind of the shorthand answer of how it works. But tonight, we're not going to take up a lot of time with a lecture, because it's important for all of you to experience it, to feel it yourself. And I'd like you all to do a quick exercise. First of all, I want you to take your hands and rub them together. Rub them together, and then put your hands like this. Do you feel that? That's energy. Now some of you might say, well, that's just the heat from my hands. No, it's energy. Put your hands further apart, and you can still feel the energy, right? So that's a little mini lesson in energy healing. So all of you are able to do that. All of us here have been specially trained. We've had long, times of experience, but that's not to say that you couldn't do it yourself. Now, here's another exercise I'd like you to do. If you can, I want you to take your hand and put it on the shoulder or over the shoulder of the person sitting to your right. If you don't have anyone next to you, put your hand on or over the shoulder of someone in front of you. Okay? So you're going to be like this or like that. Okay, very good. Yes. Well, Loretta, you're just going to be receiving everything from everyone. Now, I want you all to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and imagine sending that energy through your hand into that person and experience pure love while you're doing it. You don't know this person, but you know we all need something. Send pure love through your hand. And likewise, I want you to imagine, if someone's touching you right now, to receive pure love. Whatever it is that you're experiencing or going through, imagine receiving that pure love. Sense how it feels. Give yourself the luxury of experiencing that. All right, you can remove your hands. And just for a moment, think about how that feels when you are really concentrating on sending directed energy. Now, you might be asking, why was I compelled to put this program together tonight? And I want you to know that I have a deep belief and deep respect for the women here who are giving this program with me. They have all been very active in healing me, helping me through my own cancer journey. And after my August recovery from my second bout of cancer, when I bounced back so incredibly fast, I had a dream, actually. I had a dream that I was standing in this room with all of the seats full, with these women with me, and I saw it so clearly. And in my dream, it kind of unfolded exactly how it should happen. And I heard a voice that said to me, if you want to live cancer-free, then you've got to live the life of a healer out loud. And I think that could apply to all of us. So here's what's going to happen tonight. Each of the practitioners is going to come up and introduce herself to you. Then we're going to have an audience-wide guided imagery exercise for relaxation and healing. Velma Glover is going to walk around and she's going to give you a sound bath at the same time using a Tibetan bowl. This is going to be really fun. Now, after that exercise, those of you who signed up early, I think there's maybe 21 of you or so, you will be taken in sets of 5 across the way for a private healing, 7 minutes. 5 minutes to receive a direct healing, 2 minutes for your practitioner to jot down notes about what came up, and they're going to hand it to you. They're going to hand notes to you. And then, while that is going on in the other room, all of you, I know, you're sitting here going, well, if I'm not getting a personal healing, what's in it for me? Well, I'll tell you. Our Tiami is going to take over this room and she's going to lead everyone through an exercise in removing the barriers to your goals. I think we could all use that. And then at that time, we're going to all return to the room and there's going to be a raffle of services from the healers. So let's get started. And I'd love for you to meet each of these healers. And I'd like to start with Mary Faith Gessling.
Hi, yes, my name is Mary Faith Gessling. I run Energies from Source Healing Center in Jamaica Plain. And tonight I will be talking about using therapeutic pendulums. This is a therapeutic pendulum. See, it's about a little bit bigger than a golf ball. This tool has been imbibed with the energies of, it's called XOR, removing hexes, curses, negative thought forms, noxious rays, and entities. Everybody can have something that might be attached onto you because thoughts are things, and thoughts, from my school of thought, attach onto a person when you're stressed out. If you don't deal with it, it goes into your body and causes a problem. So this is a way, just like hands-on healing is with all of the practitioners behind me, of healing. And what I will be doing is swinging it like so, while you're sitting in the chair, from head to toe, and you will feel it. If you'd like more information, there's information out there, but I am also clairaudient, and I hear the answers. I'm a psychic as well, so in a treatment with me, not tonight, because you're only getting 5 minutes, and I'm going to write it down 2 minutes on the sheet afterwards, but normally I might hear something that's attached onto you, or see something that's attached onto you. And this session is normally interactive, whereas Reiki, there's music playing, and you are normally laying down on a massage table, feeling the energies of divine unconditional love coming from the practitioner. In my case, with therapeutic pendulums, some things will leave you with the swing of the pendulum and you will not have to do anything. But some things you will have to acknowledge, and I will either describe them to you, and all you have to do is say yes, and they will leave. Because this modality removes everything that's attached onto you from conception up to now, going 10 generations into the past and into the future, both consciously, unconsciously, subconsciously, in this lifetime and all previous lifetimes. So think about it. If you are weighed down with some sort of issue, now imagine that every possible thing has been removed from you. You are going to feel lighter. You are going to feel relaxed. You are going to be as happy can be. But tonight, just 5 minutes worth. And you will still enjoy it. Thank you. I'm sorry, my website is energiesfromsource.com. Energies from Source. Thank you. I can't wait to share it with you.
Thank you, Mary Faith Gessling. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Velma Glover.
Hello everyone, I am Velma Glover. And I have been working in the medical field for over 35 years. I work as a school nurse presently with Boston Public Schools. And I've always had a passion for health promotion, self-care. And as I think about the movement that's happening right now in healthcare, instead of just being focused on disease management, health management is really coming forth in the healthcare field. So really learning how to empower yourself and help yourself to heal. So I've had some training in healing touch, and I love reflexology. I find that in reflexology, I focus on the feet, and people either love their feet being touched or they don't. But I just find it to be an amazing, relaxing experience, and I fall asleep much faster with reflexology than I do a massage. And it definitely helps, when you're in a relaxed state, your body works better. And so I definitely love promoting healing through being in a relaxed state. I love using essential oils. Definitely, some people love it and other people don't, because smells can make a difference. And our cells have a lot of energy to them. And when we're not doing well or we're anxious and stressed, our cell levels, frequency, and vibration is down. And so through reflexology and energy work, you actually are able to experience the relaxation your body needs to be able to promote a higher frequency in the cells. So I'm a little bit nervous standing up here, so it could be. But definitely, there's a lot to learn in being able to improve your health and well-being. And nursing, that's what I love. It's like, for me, I don't want a disease to be managed. I want to prevent myself from getting to that state of disease. So I definitely, healing touch is energy work, as well as I've done some Reiki. And sound healing is another thing that I'm really finding. A lot of us, we have favorite music that makes us feel good. And so using singing bowls, it helps to raise the frequency, the vibration of your cells. And through that, it definitely helps us to heal. So thank you for letting me share.
Velma forgot to mention that she is a resident in Milton, and she has a private office for her holistic arts in Dedham on Milton Street. So, and she has cards out there. Next, I'm excited for you to meet Awet Tiami.
Hi there. As soon as I walked in here, the healing began. Usually my eyes will squint. So there's a whole lot of you that need work. that's my body's way of telling me, oh, we've got work to do, girl. I've got a rash. I never get rashes on my face, so one of y'all is giving me a rash, and that's okay. That's just what we do. We take on your ailments and we purge it. So it's purging. It's purging. So I'll be happy to get rid of this. So I'm sounding like I'm So I'm a stand-up comedian and actress, and I'm a teaching artist. So I teach how to release anxiety before auditions to actors as well. So in all of this, I did the stand-up comedy and acting for many decades, but the healing part is what enabled me to teach the workshops for actors, and that's just so gratifying. So I'm one of those weirdos from LA who believed in the laws of attraction. Remember when it came out in the early 2000s? So I, did a vision board, that asked the universe, I was like, I want to lose 30 pounds, and I want to lose it in 10 days, right? and then I was like, I'm serious, right? So I put that on the board, and then it happened. All of a sudden, I lost 40 pounds, and I think 15 days. So I was actually dying. I was dying. I got diabetes. So be careful what you ask for, because the universe is like, you said 10 days. I'm like, oh my God. So it was. I'm fine now. And I'm fine because of the healing. So long story short, actually doing theta frequency healing just kind of fell on my lap, and that was all very gradual. So it started off with the laws of attraction, and then and that was in LA, and because LA is the mecca of energy healers, and so I was healed by a plethora of healers, and I almost became a Reiki healer. I was almost a tone, but I didn't. The light did shoot from the sky into my head, but I refused it. So I was backing up. I was on one of those chairs, and I was like, no. so I wasn't ready then. And that's okay. And I get why I wasn't ready. So when theta frequency came along, I never thought, I actually forgot I tried to be a healer before. And then suddenly, when theta, I did other work too. Divine Magic Mastery was when we learned how to connect with the spirits of the Northeast, South, and West. And the thing is, I've always known them. I just didn't know, I didn't have a name to it. I didn't have, I just always, we're, I don't know, they could all probably relate, that we talk very quietly sometimes to nothing, to space, but we can sense that something is listening. So I've always known who they were, and they've always listened to me and gave me what I wanted. So long story short, I don't know if she's giving me energy over there, but I've always been a manifesting generator. So I've always learned how to manifest. So it started with the laws of attraction, and I started small. A cup of coffee with a friend. And then maybe a job, and then suddenly they'll come, and then I've made mistakes too, and where I'll manifest something and then it doesn't stick, and I learned why, and it's because I wasn't in the space to receive that manifestation. It's we're all very powerful. We all manifest on the fly, and sometimes things stick and sometimes don't. So what I'll do for you guys today is removing the reason, some of like Mary said, I only have 5 minutes with you, so we're just gonna do a very simple removal of the blockages in your energy field, preventing you from focus on one thing that you want to manifest today, and then you'll feel a difference. So it's those things that are in your energy field that block you from receiving your manifestations, and more importantly, even if you receive it, it'll block you from keeping it. Because then I don't know if you've ever witnessed, getting $500 and then all of a sudden it just goes away. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about. So I'm so excited to do that for you today. Thank you.
I'd like to bring up Alyssa Rosenthal.
Following a healer and a stand-up comedian, it's kind of hard to follow the best I can. So my name is Alyssa Rosenthal, and I have been an occupational therapist for over 30 years, so that's sort of a healing practice in itself. I've worked with people in every possible setting. I've worked with children, I've worked with seniors, I've worked with people with physical, emotional, mental difficulties. And for myself, you can imagine when you are a person who works in that field, a medical field, you need some healing for yourself. So I turned to yoga. And yoga became something that helped me to relax, to stretch, to release. And it became a very important part of my life, and I began to use yoga. I thought if it was an important part of my life, it might help the patients that I worked with, okay? And lo and behold, it did. And so I worked with people who were in wheelchairs, who could barely move maybe they could move their arms. I worked with children who had all kinds of learning disabilities, and I brought yoga to them, and it brought peace. Because yoga is a very more complicated practice than people think. There's more levels to it. There's more than just the physical practice. There's meditation, there's breathing, there's teachings of yoga. So the yoga led me to become a yoga teacher. I became certified. And then at that time, I also became certified in Reiki because they seem to go along with one another, yoga and Reiki, right? So as somebody else said here, when I first started out, it didn't really take for me. And I don't get it. What is this? Where's the energy? I'm not feeling anything. But I did it, and I used it occasionally. I think on my dog. He really appreciated it. I was a nervous dog. And, okay, I'm going to use it on him. And I continued to teach yoga, which I have done all along. I love teaching chair yoga. I love teaching mat yoga. You know, I can talk about yoga all day long. But more recently, I've had a number of people in my life that have called me to service to use my Reiki attunement, my Reiki knowledge, and all of a sudden it got turned on. I felt like the universe called upon me, and it was there. And this is kind of what I think Suzette was talking about. We all have this power, this universal energy within us. And the Reiki practitioner just opens the channel so that you can collaborate with the person you're practicing on to use the power that is within each one of you. And I've used it for people who have been in need recently, people that I've known, people that have been in terrible trouble, both physical and emotional, and it has been helpful. So I have been expanding my Reiki practice hand in hand with my yoga practice, hand in hand with my occupational therapy practice. And I have to say one more thing, I'm honored to be on this panel with these incredible healers, and also thank you for allowing us to share what we have with you. Thank you so much for this. And last we have Sheeta Bowman, and I'd like to bring her up. No, she's not last. We also have Sheeta. Sorry. Come on up, Sheeta.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Sheeta Bowman, or actually it's Rashida, but all my friends and family call me Sheeta, so you guys can call me Sheeta. So I started this journey, first of all, let me tell you, so I'm an educator, so you definitely need Reiki and all that energy stuff when you're an educator, right? We all know that. The other thing is, I actually lied. I told Suzette that I was a healer. I just wanted her free dinner. So, no, that's not true. So, I've actually started this journey like years ago. 2007, I started it because I had a baby. He was sick. I was living in Milton, and they didn't know what was wrong with him. And I went to work crying. I remember I went to work crying, and I was telling one of the ladies at work, like, my baby is sick. He's only 1.5, and the doctors still don't know. They think some type of blockage in his intestines, but they're not sure. And she said, you got to take him all the way to Sterling. There's a herbalist out there, and he does muscle testing, kinesiology, and he can tap into what's going on with him. So I took the next day off, rushed him out there, and he tapped right into it. And he said, he basically said, well, your son has a little, like a parasite or something in his intestines. He said, but that's not the root. And he said, well, the root is actually you and his father have been arguing, so it binded him up. Oh my God, he knows my life. So, and it was true. And it was very, very true. So he gave me the herb to do, and then also he told me that I needed to, even though my son was only 1.5, he could still process the energy of what was happening with me and his father, right? So he was able to process it. So a lot of times people don't realize that your children and your babies, if people can pick up on stuff even if they can't talk. Even if they can't fully process, they pick up the energy of what's going on. So that started my journey because I wanted to know how he did it. I wanted to know how I could help my son going forward. So I started my journey and became a holistic practitioner. Then I went on to get Reiki master training, Shambhala training, Kundalini Reiki training. But most importantly, just training just to help people is the way I look at it. And really just like how to help other people who don't really know how to help themselves. Because everyone's looking for some type of help, assistance. And again, we're not here to give you answers. We're kind of here to assist you along the way. Over the last couple of years, I've had the great pleasure of being able to use the Reiki in a way that I was at first very nervous about and kind of scared of. But I've been able to help people who were on their journey to cross over, to help them cross over without pain, to release that. And I realize that's a gift, to be able to give them, to be able to release the pain and some of the things that their body is going through. And I wasn't sure what was going on until I had one of the moms of her daughter came to me and she said, whatever you did to my mom that day, she said, we already knew she was gonna pass. She said, but when she left here, she was never in any more pain and she passed without, with the family. And that touched my heart. And at that point, I realized that sometimes the healing that we all have is not to save you, but sometimes it's to help you process, to go through, to cope, to understand, to help the family too, as well. So it's also to help the family as well. So it's so many different avenues and aspects of what the healing or what we do up here, right? But most importantly, what we do is we just help you, right? Thank you.
Last, I want to introduce you to Jemima Cassignol. Now, she's not going to be one of the practitioners tonight. She's going to be the timer, but she's very powerful in our field too. We love her. So if you could just give a brief introduction to yourself, Jemima.
Greetings, everyone. So, my name is Sacred Woman Isis Aset Jemima Cassignol of Yosa. That's for mine. So, by profession, I am a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for a while. I'm also an educator. Part of what I offer to the public is I actually help people become certified in the state of Massachusetts Medication Administration Program. But what I decided to jump into doing at the beginning of the year actually is to heal people with all of who I am. What does that mean? I'm just gonna say my past life, for some of you who know me, I've had the opportunity to serve people in various capacities, whether it was as a lay minister or I've been nurse in various fields from hospice nursing, oncology, the various institutions in Boston. I've been a nurse, I became a nurse in Massachusetts and I've stayed here. I've also done health coaching, working around nutrition. And lastly, I've worked with mental health. The last agency I worked for was the Brookline Community Center for Mental Health. And so doing all of these, I always approach it with my whole self, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And I've always created space where people can come to me with their whole self. But when you are working for a particular box, you can only supposed to offer that particular box. And I find that it no longer aligned with how I wanted to service people, and as well as the people that were coming to me what they needed. And so I started my own practice. It's called Health and Wellness Education Cooperation, where I create this space where I offer people coaching around whatever it is that ails them. And a lot of times, because we don't live it, but we're encouraged to compartmentalize ourselves. We think, oh, this shoulder hurt, I just need some time. But it may have something to do with unresolved issues you have with a loved one, right? It may have been maybe with that cheese that you ate, correct? It could be that you're feeling disconnected spiritually and it's just the somatic symptoms. And so I create this space where people can come to me. We have a conversation. In the conversation, I listen to you. And I hear what you have to say. And the other thing too, I'm an empath. And so I'm able to see behind what it is that you're presenting to me and guide you to see what else could be there, as well as offer you the services. So from, you might be having some medical symptoms, I understand what they are. I also offer you other holistic ways to manage it. Yes, you can take that Colis. Maybe if you also drink more water or you have more rest, your bowels might look better. So everybody comes with symptoms, but it may stem from something different. And so that's what I do. I coach people with whatever it is, the source of what's ailing you, and I assist you with it. So that's part of what I do.
So we're going to start our program with an audience-wide healing. And I'm going to lead everyone through a guided imagery in which you're going to relax, and after which all of us are going to be beaming healing energy into the audience. And I'm going to ask Velma Glover, she's going to walk around and deepen your experience with her Tibetan bowl. So I only ask that you relax and receive. So I want you all to start by closing your eyes and taking a deep cleansing breath. This is your time. You've made this time to be here. And it's a good feeling to make time for yourself, to relax, to get in touch with your breath. And all you have to do is follow the path of your breath. You ever wonder how deeply you can breathe? Where your breath comes from? How it feels going in and out? And at this time, just know that this is the luxury that you give yourself to relax. And I want you to imagine now thanking your feet, those feet that carry you everywhere. Thank them and let them relax. They've served you well. And now it's time to pretend that two thick golden cords are softly unfurling from the soles of your feet, dropping down deep, deep into the heart of Mother Earth, anchoring you and keeping you safe. Imagine what that would feel like. And imagine now a beautiful cascade of energy just drifting down and relaxing your body. Let your ankles, your shins, your calves relax. Feel the cushion that you're sitting on. Get comfortable. And at the bottom of your spine, imagine a beautiful color of red, vibrant red. You are safe. And take a moment now and breathe up into your pelvic area and imagine a beautiful color of orange, an orange radiance. And when you feel that orange light, just breathe up and bring a beautiful shade of yellow or gold up into your solar plexus. Allow your stomach muscles to expand and relax. More relaxed than when you started. And take that energy and bring it up. A deep breath, bring it up into your chest area and imagine a beautiful color of pink. Feel that colored pink expanding through your chest like a soft, beautiful light. Maybe you could even sense the color green, fresh, renewal. And just allow your chest area to relax and let go. And now you could imagine that a giant weight is being lifted from your shoulders. How would that feel? And allow the relaxation to drift down your arms, relaxing them as if you could breathe through your very fingertips. What would that feel like? And now that beautiful light travels up to your throat and neck area. And if you are aware of any tight places in your body, just take a deep breath and bring oxygen into those places, allowing every muscle to fall into place. Feel that wave of blue all through your throat and neck area. More relaxed than when you started. And bring that energy now. Breathe it up as if your face is facing a beautiful, soft light. You could imagine the tiniest space between your teeth as your jaw lets go, and the tiniest muscles around your eyes relaxing, opening up to the light. And notice that area on your forehead between your eyebrows, your third eye, and imagine the color of indigo, like the night skies, the universe, the place of future visioning, and see yourself whole and healthy. And take a deep breath and imagine now that area at the very top of your head, your crown. And imagine a beautiful iridescent light shooting out from the top of your head and showering you with white, beautiful light. And this light that showers you is like a cocoon, safe and protected. And feel yourself enveloped in a beautiful, protective light. And this light acts like a filter. Anything that you don't want or need at this time, breathe it out of that cocoon, far away from you. And know that only the highest, purest energy comes through the cocoon of light to heal you, to relax you. You are safe. Feel that now. And all the healers who are with me today are going to send you energy. They are going to direct their energy towards you right now. Every one of you is seen. Just allow yourself to feel the energy coming to you, and it knows exactly where to go. And I will let you know when the healers are done. And in the meantime, know that the more relaxed you are, the easier it is to send you the energy that you want and need at this time. enjoy the relaxation. Perhaps you notice how more relaxed you are than when you started. Maybe some of you had sensations of warmth or tingling or a humming in the air. We're going to move on to the next part of our program, in which the individual healings will go on in the other room, and everyone here will have another experience in removing the barriers to your obstacles. And Pat, would you like to stand up? Pat Westhater is our volunteer. She's our air traffic controller. So all of you who are holding pink cards will be the first to experience your individual healings in the other room. And she will watch the time, and when she sees that the other people have left the room, you can bring in the next set, Pat. All right. And there will be time after, plenty of time to ask questions, to meet the healers. Everyone has their information out there, so please feel free to take whatever information you'd like. I'm going to give you just a few moments if you want to use the restroom or to relax for a few moments, and then Alit Tiami will be back in the room. Thank you so much for coming tonight.